I'm Becky Meagher, and welcome to Transitions, Body, Mind, and Spirit. Transitions. We've all gone through transitions in our lives, right? I like to use the metaphor of a triathlon, and that's something I do. In fact, in 2 days I'll be in Chattanooga doing a triathlon. So when in triathlon, first you swim, and then you get in the transition area, and then you bike, and then you transition again, and then you run. And that gives us just a metaphor of what do we do in life. There's so many different changes, and as we get older and as our families expand or things change. So I have an amazing woman, entrepreneur, yoga teacher, yoga mentor. This is actually the third show that I have done on Jan Campbell, and she is the owner of the Yoga Center. And she's going to tell us about yoga, the center, and her mentoring some amazing students of hers. So, Jan Campbell, welcome.
Thank you, Becky. It's good to be back.
Yay!
Thanks for inviting me.
Yes. All right. Tell us a little bit for people out there that don't know how you started and the Yoga Center in Berry Hill and Nashville here. And tell us a little bit about that, what you do.
All right. Well, after being in residential real estate for 10 years back in the 70s and early 80s, I became interested in taking a yoga class or two, and once I did that, I was hooked, and I decided I really want to teach. And I didn't really know how to go about that or how to learn how to be a yoga teacher. So I went out to California, to San Francisco, studied it at the Iyengar Yoga Institute there for a summer, and came back to Nashville. And in November 1986, I opened as far as I know, the first yoga studio in Nashville. And we've been there ever since.
Wow, still there.
Still there, going strong. 30 years ago now, it was.
Years. That's amazing.
So, yeah.
Wow. And so tell us a little bit about what you do with your students, and is it students of all ages and abilities? Is it all beginners or advanced, or how does that work?
Yes, we do have students of all ages. We don't really have children's yoga, but teenagers are welcome, and people are welcome on up into their 90s. As long as they can come and want to come, we welcome them. So the classes are in levels, divided into levels. They're level 1, 2, 3, and 4, so that when people start out, they start out with the introductory level, so they learn the positions, the yoga postures, and then if they get ready to move up to a higher level, then they can do that. So there are different choices depending on the student's ability and physical condition.
And as I understand, the Iyengar system is an exacting system. Tell us, because there's so many other systems out there, and hot yoga and all that.
Well, yes. The Iyengar system focuses on alignment, correct alignment of the body. And we are very disciplined in the way we teach. There's an assessment process that people have to pass a stringent test. It's a whole weekend of testing to become certified. And then the certification process also moves up from beginning to intermediate to advanced. So there are quite a few levels of certification, so that the people who are certified at the beginning level teach beginners. And then when they move up into the higher levels, they are more prepared in their own practice, in their own bodies. So then, and they know more, so then they can teach more intermediate and then more advanced poses. So that's the way it works. So the teachers have to grow in their expertise and their knowledge to be able to work with students at a higher level.
Right.
And we think it's a wonderful system.
That is a wonderful
It's
system.
a
I didn't
wonderful,
know that myself.
yes, yes. So at this point, I am an assessor, so I get to travel throughout the United States once or twice a year to be an assessor at a certification. And I also have a teacher training program where I help people get prepared for that particular for a particular certification. So that's kind of the way it works.
Okay. And so we have some of your students today.
Yes,
which
we
we're gonna
do.
show. But before we get into your students, you have somebody that is a more mature person who is going to be demonstrating some things.
Yes,
right?
we do. Martha is, I don't think Martha will mind us telling you, but Martha is in the introductory class. She comes every week. It's an evening class. She drives herself there. And she is 91 years old.
91 years
and
old.
Everyone in class loves Martha. We all love Martha. So she's going to do a couple of 2 or 3 poses from the introductory syllabus, which is a way that we get people started, just a little sampling of that.
Okay. Great. Well, Martha, can we have you come up here? And we're going to ask Martha to do her thing. I'm going to get out of the camera range, and after she finishes, then we're going to have her say a few words.
Okay. Okay, so I'm going to sort of lead Martha through just a few yoga poses, and we'll start with a pose called Downward Facing Dog Pose. So Martha, take your hands to the mat and walk your feet back to the wall. You can have your heels slightly up the wall, but don't get too close. Now lift your knees and press your hands to take your hips up and your thighs back. So this is a wonderful all-round pose for building upper body strength, flexibility of the arms, the shoulders, the legs, and a good way to lengthen the side body and to open the back of the legs. So she's working her body in a lot of different ways, and it's also an example of an inversion because her head is lower than her heart. So it's a very healthy and important pose. Now Martha, walk your feet forward until and walk your hands back if you need to. Straighten your legs, keep your feet hip distance apart, and clasp your elbows so that you allow the side trunk and the crown of the head to surrender and release to the floor as you work your legs. So if you look at Martha's legs, you can see the legs are strong, they're working hard, but the spine now is free to release forward. To come up, Martha, just take your hands to your shins like this, look forward, inhale, and come up. Okay, now stand in the center of the mats here. Bring your fingertips together at your chest and step your feet apart for triangle pose. Turn the left foot in slightly, right foot and leg out. With an exhalation, lengthen out over your right leg. Bring that right hand down and take the left hand up. Good. Inhale, come up. Turn the feet to parallel. Now turn the right foot in slightly, turn the left foot and leg out. Exhale and bring the hand down to the shin. And lift up through that right arm. Inhale and come up. Turn the feet. Now we'll just leave the feet apart. We're going to do one more pose. Turn your left foot in slightly, right foot and leg out. And with an exhalation, just bend that right leg. Now keep your trunk moving upright. Don't. That's it. And then look out over this right arm. Good. Straighten that leg. Turn the feet forward. Now turn the right foot in slightly, left foot and leg out. Exhale, bend the left leg. Reach back for this right arm. Straighten the right leg. Come up. Turn the feet face forward. Bring your fingertips together at your chest and step your feet together. So, you can see why we love Martha.
Wow, bravo, bravo. Martha, come over here to the microphone. And Martha, tell us a little bit about why you have started yoga.
Well, I was at my doctor's office, and she put me on the treadmill, and I said, how can I help myself to do better? And she said, do yoga. So I started doing yoga, and I have been practicing about 20 years. But at my age, I can't do the advanced classes anymore. So I just stick with beginners.
And how has it been with Jan Campbell?
Oh, she is marvelous. She is a great teacher. And I just admired her tonight to see how well she can perform.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And I had one other teacher before her. Mm-hmm. And she sold her studio, so I looked for another lady and found Jan and been with her ever since.
All right, very good. That's a testimony right there. All right, great. And before you leave the area, we have some other of your students that are going to be coming and demonstrating.
They are.
All right. And you want to go ahead and set them up to demonstrate?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Martha. We'll
All right, Jan. How much longer do we have? 14.
It says 14 minutes and 13 seconds left.
Yes, 14 minutes. All right, go ahead, Jan.
Okay. So we have 3 wonderful yoga students with us this evening who are also excellent teachers. They all teach locally, and they're going to show you a few of the more intermediate yoga poses that Martha introduced, the introductory poses, a few of those. Now we'll show what can happen after people study yoga for a few years and where you can go from there. So I'll let them introduce themselves a little later on. We'll go ahead and do the postures now. All right, bring your fingertips together at your chest, bend your legs, inhaling, take the feet apart. Utthita Trikonasana, turn the left foot in, right foot and leg out. With an exhalation, sail into the pose. Bring your left hand to your waist, bend your right leg, place the hand for Ardha Chandrasana. Balance on the right leg, lift that left leg. Now bring the hand back to the waist, place the left foot down for Virabhadrasana 1. Transition to Virabhadrasana 3. And back to Virabhadrasana 1. Straighten the right leg. Turn the feet to face forward. Take the arms out, shoulder level. Turn the right foot in slightly. Turn the left foot and leg all the way out. Utthita Trikonasana to the left. Bring the hand to the waist. Bend the left leg. Take a step in. Ardha Chandrasana. Place the foot for Virabhadrasana 1. Pivot onto the right foot, lift the heel, Virabhadrasana 3. Arms forward, legs stretching back. And place the foot on the floor, back into Vira 1. Now bring the hands to the floor, step the left foot back, come into Adho Mukha Svanasana. Downward facing dog pose. Lift the heels, come forward into Urdhva Mukha Svanasana, upward facing dog. Roll the shoulders back, broaden the chest. Exhale, Adho Mukha Svanasana. Bring the feet forward into Uttanasana. Ardha Uttanasana. Inhale, come up. And release the arms into Tadasana. Okay, thank you.
All right.
I think Connie's first.
Yes, we have a student teacher, right?
Student teacher, yes, that's
Student
correct.
teacher.
My name is Connie Long, and I've been taking from Jan for about 9 years now. 9, 10, yes.
And why, and what has yoga done for you?
I had health issues all of my life, and yoga has helped to start me on the healing process. And it's just fulfilling. It really does bring something extra to your life that you don't realize you're missing until you finally get it, and it's like a family, an extended family. Yes.
And how has it been being taught by Jan for you?
I love her.
Well, that's reciprocal.
Well, there's love, and that's a wonderful thing.
The studio is one of the safest places in the world for me.
Wow. And there's
That's how I feel when I'm there.
feeling of
Yes.
peace and safety.
Yes.
There you have
Yes.
it. Great. And I believe, thank you very much.
Thank
we
you.
have some more poses going on.
Yes, we do.
Okay, I'll get out of the picture.
So this one won't take very long, but the next two poses are inverted poses, and they take upper body strength, they take a bit of coordination, and at some point they can take some balance. So Beth, if you want to see if you can come to balance in this one, that would be wonderful. If it doesn't happen tonight, that's not a problem. So full arm balance. Come into Adho Mukha Svanasana, plant your hands. Lift the shoulder blades as you walk in. Keep the spine moving into the body, and when you're ready, go up.
Move the mic up a little.
Yes. Press the palms, reach up through, the side trunk all the way up through the inner heels. Stretch those legs. Good. And now keep the lift of the shoulders and come down with elegance. Inhale and come up. So that's an example of the way the practice can develop as the student develops. So, Cassie.
All right, we have another student teacher right here, and say your name and tell us about
My name is
you.
Cassie O'Sullivan, and I'm very emotional because Jan, I had a transition difficulty moving from New York City. So I have scoliosis, and Jan's friend Elise, excuse me, I'm not good at being on camera.
You're doing good. We
doing
just need you
well.
closer to the mic.
Okay.
We want to hear you.
Jan's friend Elise is my teacher who has been able to help me have my scoliosis find its alignment. So spinal alignment.
Wow.
And it's very hard to find a teacher who can understand this. So speak up, okay?
Speak up.
I know, Jan's been telling me
Justify.
to speak up too.
Yeah, we want.
So in New York, my teachers there are not in the certification process of the Iyengar system, which is a beautiful training process, but it's very difficult to go through when you have a spinal issue. So I can't do all the poses. But Jan's been able to help me. And like Connie said, it's a safe environment.
So what does Jan mean to you?
She means the world to me. She's a supernatural being.
Supernatural, that's a good
Yeah.
recommendation.
Whoa,
Yeah.
that's scary,
All
Cassie.
All right.
Yeah,
well,
she is. Thank you.
Thanks,
I
Cassie.
think we have time for maybe another pose.
One more pose.
more pose.
All right. And we're going to bring all three of them back for this one. And this one is a pose that sometimes is called forearm balance, because actually they will be balancing on their forearms. So instead of standing on their feet and letting their feet be the base of the pose, their hands and forearms and elbows will hold them up. You'll get to see a really beautiful sight when they go up. All right, here we go. Place your hands well, press down on the forearms, turn your toes under, and lift your knees. Keep your shoulders well lifted. Walk in, keep the spine moving into the body, and when you're ready, swing one, kick one, and go up. So this one, you can either go to the wall, or as Beth is doing, come to balance. And this one can be done in the middle of the room, balancing in the middle of the room after the balance comes. So it's a strong pose. We don't keep people in it very long because it takes a lot of shoulder strength. But you can see these students and where they have come in their practice with this pose. All right, now bring one leg down and then the other, and rest for a moment. Okay, now bring yourselves up, and we have one more student who would like to say something.
All right, we'll see what your wonderful name is.
Okay, I'm Beth Nelson, and I've been taking from Jan for about 15 years. Yes, I concur. It's very much like a family, a very safe place. And I know that Jan has helped a lot of people through a lot of things, so including myself.
So what do you think of Jan then?
I think she's a lifesaver.
A lifesaver.
My.
Ooh, we have some good karma going on here. Wow.
Absolutely.
Well, thank you. Thank you.
Well,
very
you know,
much.
these 3 women, 4 counting Martha, give back to me as much or more as I could ever give to them. And we are a community, a supportive community and family to one another. And that's part of what we love about this process, is that it builds that. And we get closer and closer as we know more and more about one another. So it's a good way to go through life.
And if somebody sees this and says, I would like not only to learn yoga, but I want to be a teacher, they come to you and...
I'm not the only one they can come to. Obviously, there are a lot of good teachers around that can do some teacher training, but finding a good teacher and someone who can mentor you and guide you along the way is part of the way it happens. So I would strongly suggest, if you're interested in teaching, that you first become a student. That's the first step. Be a good student, do that for several years, and then find a teacher to mentor you.
And how many mentorees have you, do you currently have, and would you say there's hundreds of people you've mentored?
No, not hundreds. I don't think so over the years, but maybe close to 100 over these 30 years.
Wow.
I would say probably so, and all over the U.S., really, not just in Nashville. So people come to Nashville from other states to work with us.
Wow.
And to learn.
Wonderful. All right. Well, Jan Campbell, this has been a wonderful opportunity to display your very grateful students and their skills. And you end your yoga sessions with Namaste. What does that mean?
Well, Namaste means, in essence, the divine within me honors the divine within you. Namaste.
Namaste. Namaste, everyone. Transitions, body, mind, spirit. Thank you, Jan Campbell.
Thank you, Becky. Thank you.